What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the stimulus package update, daily news, what's going on in our country, Washington, D.C., pretty much everything you need to know about on a daily basis. Money, investing, the stock market. Remember that new videos come out here every day on our channel at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. New videos come out every day here on our channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. I will keep you up to date on everything going on here in our country. The stock market continues on a tear. The S&P and the Dow Jones index just hit a new all-time high. The Dow Jones up again at a new all-time high at 35,756. You can see here as this is the one-year chart, just continues to go up. The S&P 500 also up significantly. A year ago today was at about 3390, is now at 4575, 4574, up significantly. That is a gain of around 35% in 1 year. Meanwhile, it's also a very big week for the stimulus package and the infrastructure package as they're trying to finalize both of them this week here. Here is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer on finalizing both these packages and if they can come to an agreement with moderate holdouts, Senator Joe Manchin and Senator Kirsten Sinema.
Mr. President, this week, Democrats are continuing to make important progress towards finalizing President Biden's Build Back Better plan, and we remain confident that a final deal is within reach. When Democrats first set out to pass historic legislation to boost our economy and invest in everyday Americans, we knew that the task wouldn't be easy. The challenges that our country faces are manifold. They're severe, from the hardship of raising a family to securing a good-paying job, to affording something as basic as health care and the cost of prescription drugs. Tackling these issues head-on was sure to be an immense challenge. Doing big things in Congress is always hard. But we didn't choose elected office just to pursue the easy things. We came here to do the hard things, the important things, the things that will impact Americans, working-class Americans, middle-class Americans, those struggling to get into the middle class and those struggling to stay there. It will impact those people for generations. That's what these negotiations have been about, doing the hard work to deliver something big for the American people. Nobody is going to get everything they want, but we all know we need to keep our promise to the American people. We need to tackle the climate crisis head on, and the programs we're trying to enact will empower us to meet the President's emission goals. We need to help working parents and give every child in America a chance to succeed in school and in life. And programs being discussed will help improve countless of lives. And we need, I believe, to strengthen vital services like Medicare, relied on by millions of Americans, to make health care more affordable. I believe this is so important, and we're working to get it done. Democrats will continue fighting until we're able to pass this transformational legislation. The progress of last week illustrated how if we stick together, work towards finding that legislative sweet spot, then we can succeed. That's worth a few hard days. In fact, it's worth many hard days. We have some more work to do, but we remain committed to forging ahead until we reward the trust the American people have placed in us.
Now, as they try to finalize the stimulus package this week and also vote on the infrastructure package this week, possibly voting on and passing both of them this week if they can come to an agreement with moderate holdouts Senator Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema. One of the final things that they can't come to an agreement on is the Medicare provisions for seniors to add hearing, dental, and vision, which Senator Joe Manchin says he does not want to vote for because Medicare has said that potentially in 5 years that Medicare could run into solvency problems on the current path they're on, and adding these new benefits for seniors could potentially exacerbate the solvency problems. But Democrats like Senator Bernie Sanders says that won't be the case because they're going to fund Medicare and give them billions and billions of dollars to pay for hearing, dental, and vision coverage, hearing aid coverage, dental coverage, and lower the Medicare eligibility age to age 60. And Senator Bernie Sanders says he is not going to vote for this package if they don't give this coverage to millions and millions of seniors who desperately need this coverage. But there's also multiple other things they want to add in this stimulus package, or that are a large part of the stimulus package. And here are some of them that they want to, or that are in this package. Here you go. Number one, a national 4-week paid family and medical leave plan. This would be paid for by the government, not by employers. Drawn down initially from 12 weeks. Okay. Qualifying reasons for an annual benefit would include recovering from a serious illness, like COVID, caring for a serious ill family member, or caring for a new child. The White House said the program will provide workers up to $4,000 a month or $1,000 a week, basically, with a minimum of 2/3 of average weekly wages replaced, with rising up to 80% for the lowest wage workers. So, proponents of this paid family and medical leave program for 4 weeks say that we are one of the first world countries that do not offer paid family and medical leave, that we should have been offering this for many, many years. And for working families, that we drastically need this. A lot of employers do not offer this, and that we should have been offering this for a long, long time coming, and that this would basically be a stimulus type of program that is not offered to many, many millions of Americans. So, if you run into a situation like this, where you have an illness in the family, or you have a new child and you need this paid time off, but your employer doesn't offer it, or now the government offers it, it's basically a way for you to get this time off and get paid for it. So it is basically a way to have paid time off, but where in the past you wouldn't have got it before. So this would be a stimulus type program that would provide relief for millions and millions of working families. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Universal pre-K for 3 and 4-year-olds, also known as preschool. The government would pay for this. In the vast majority of states, this is not paid for. Here in Ohio, you have to pay for this on your own. There are some states where you can get this paid for, but the vast majority of states, parents have to pay for this on their own, and it's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So the government now wants to be able to pay for this. You can see here the federal government would pay for the entirety of the program for the first 3 years, and then some of the cost would shift to the states. So, like grades 1 through 12 is paid for by the states, or paid for by taxes, and people don't have to pay for each grade of school per se. I mean, you kind of pay for it with taxes, but you don't have to pay for every single year that you go to school, like college. They did want to do 2 years of free community college in this plan as well. It looks like that's not going to make the cut right now because they had to drastically cut the size of this program. From $3.5 trillion down to, it's looking like around 1.75 trillion. Could go a little bit lower, possibly. We're hearing some rumors, or possibly that there's a deal made with Senator Joe Manchin at 1.75 trillion. That's still kind of up in the air. We have a source that potentially CNN says that there's a deal with Joe Manchin at 1.75 trillion. We're still not sure if that's confirmed yet or not. So CNN reported on that. Not sure if that's confirmed yet or not, so just keep that in mind. So CNN reported on that, but still not set in stone. So looks like the 2 years of free community college, because again, the government's trying to basically provide more education funded by the government, because honestly, the United States is falling drastically behind in education. I think the president basically said that we fell from like being in the top 5 to like 18th in the world now. So they're trying to basically provide preschool now funded for by the government and 2 years of free community college. But the free community college is not going to make the cut for this package. Although remember that President Biden and top Democratic leaders have said there will be another stimulus package, at least one more after this one. So you never know, that could make it in the next stimulus package. And there will probably be student loan forgiveness after the stimulus package as well. And of course, I will keep you up to date on all of this here as future stuff comes out like that. Next up, a 1-year expansion of the child tax credit. These are these monthly checks, or these monthly stimulus checks that were passed from the third stimulus check package. These $250 to $300 monthly checks. They want to extend these for 1 more year. Originally expanded under the COVID relief bill known as the third stimulus check package, passed earlier this year underneath President Biden. The credit has resulted in parents getting direct cash payments from the IRS for their kids. The White House has estimated that the tax credit has slashed the country's child poverty rate in half. It provides a monthly child cash allowance of $300 per child under 6 years of age and $250 per child ages 6 to 17 years old for families with qualifying incomes. So, a couple things here on these monthly checks called the child tax credits. Number one, they will end on December 15th, will be the last monthly payment. If they don't pass this package in time or after that. Okay. Number two, they're going to have to pass the debt limit extension before that as well, because the debt limit is set to expire on December 3rd. And Nancy Pelosi was asked directly if the Democrats were intending on extending the debt limits increase in this next stimulus package. And she kind of skirted the question and said, well, they're maybe open to doing it, but they prefer to do it with the Republicans. So they really haven't confirmed whether they're going to do it yet or not. Remember, they only passed a temporary increase with the Republicans that goes till around December 3rd. It's a doesn't have a date on it. It has a $480 billion increase. It's a monetary increase, $480 billion. It's expected to go around till December 3rd. So they're going to have to increase the debt limit again, or else the government will literally default, run out of money. The Treasury will literally run out of money, and they can't print any more money until they come to an agreement on raising the debt limit again. And this is where Social Security could not be able to issue more checks, and child tax credits could not be able to issue more checks, payments to the military, and anything having to do with money coming from the government, unless they extend this again, which they have to do, or else the government will default. And the Republicans said that they're not going to do it again, and the Democrats have to do it basically through this stimulus package. So they have about a month to do that, and they're going to have to do it through the stimulus package. But no word yet on if the Democrats are actually going to do that in this package. So they'll have to tell us if they're going to do it. So I'll keep you up to date on that. We also, so in addition to the child tax credits, Joe Manchin has kind of put some demands on whether or not he wants an income threshold of $60,000 on those monthly checks for a married couple or family, which would be only $30,000 each for married couple, so a mother and a father as an example, which would be well below the average income. And he also wants to put a work requirement on there where mom and dad would have to work, but he's the only Democrat that wants to do that. President Biden said he's not for that, and as of right now, I don't think they're doing that. So they're pushing forward without that, and Joe Manchin has not responded to whether or not he's going to vote for that. So I will keep you up to date on that. We also have a lot of advocacy groups, including the Senior Citizens Leagues and Change.org, and lots of groups pushing to add a $1,400 to $2,000 stimulus check on top of the child tax credits for adults to be added in there, in addition to the child tax credits for adults as well. So hopefully we will see some movement on that as well. We have had up to 80 different Democratic lawmakers from Congress that have been in support of a fourth stimulus check for that as well. So hopefully we will see some movement on that as well for a fourth stimulus check for adults, in addition to the child tax credits that they want to extend for 1 year. So we have the Senior Citizens League that has 1 million signatures. We have the change.org petition, which has over 3 million signatures. And I recommend you email, call, and tweet your representatives telling them that, hey, we need something in there for adults as well. But we do have some significant movement on an $800 stimulus debit card that both President Biden and Bernie Sanders says likely or will be in this next stimulus package. And that you can see right here for those using Medicare, $800 vouchers to help cover annual dental costs. The original proposal would have expanded Medicare coverage to include dental care. Now, the interesting thing about this is that we don't know if these $800 vouchers will be able to be used for medical and dental or not. And we also don't know if these $800 vouchers will be able to be possibly issued every single year. That is something that is being kicked around in the media. So that is an interesting idea. Is are these $800 stimulus debit cards that could be used for medical and dental? Is it something that we might get every year? That wouldn't be that bad. So yeah, I'll have to keep you up to date on this. This is something that they could issue every single year. That wouldn't be horrible. That wouldn't be bad. Of course, they'll start with just 1 year, but it would be interesting to see if they issue this every single year. And I could see somebody like Senator Bernie Sanders getting behind that and on a yearly basis saying, hey, let's issue this every single year to help out people and get that out. A stimulus type provision to issue out these $800 stimulus debit cards. I definitely could see them doing something like that. If you're contacting your representatives, I do recommend, though, if you're contacting Bernie Sanders, if you're contacting anybody on Twitter, your senators, your representatives, I do recommend you say, hey, it would be better to send out these, instead of these stimulus debit cards, send them out as stimulus checks, because then there's less restrictions on them. You can use them on anything. You can use them for food, you can use them for rent, you can use them for bills. That would be a slight change that would be better. A stimulus check is better than a debit card with medical and dental restrictions. So, again, we'd be happy to see these changes that they're adding things in at the very last moment. Let's have them add more and more things in at the last moment. They do kind of always seem to, at least based on what they did in the second stimulus check package and the third stimulus check package. And now with this stimulus package, they've added in, remember, nothing's set in stone yet. They've added in these $800 stimulus debit cards. Again, nothing set in stone, but they do kind of always seem to add these things in at the very last moment. So we're thankful that they've added in these so far, but you never know, they could add in more. But a nice little tweak would be to make them a stimulus check instead of a stimulus debit card with restrictions. So just want to say that if you're tweeting Bernie Sanders or calling anybody, your representative, that would be a little change that would make things a little bit better, because you could use them for anything you wanted. Funding for childcare centers to offset the cost of for families and reinforce the industry's workforce, made up mostly of women of color. The industry was hit particularly hard by the pandemic, and officials believe easier access to childcare will make it easier for parents to get back to work. I believe the provisions are here that a lot of families are going to get childcare for free, and the other provision is that low to middle income families, or I believe all families, will not pay more than 7% of their income for childcare. So the theory is that, and again, nothing is set in stone here because they haven't passed the package, is that low middle income families will not pay more than 7% of their income for childcare. And wealthy people, rich people, will also not pay more than 7% of their income for childcare. But if you're wealthy, 7% of your income would be a lot of money. So there really won't be a subsidy there because 7% of their income would be a lot of money for childcare. So there really wouldn't be any rebate or anything like that. Um, but yeah, so there is expected to be for child care, because the problem is if you're like low income for child care, they say that you could spend up to 25 or 33% of your income for child care. If mom and dad go to work, they have to pay for child care to send their child to child care because they're both going to work, and it's just very very expensive if you're paying 25% of your income to send your child to childcare. um, and now you can get that for 7% of your income or even free. It's a significant savings for you. It's a stimulus program that is going to save you a lot of money. It's going to be a godsend for you, for anybody that's in that situation. So it's going to be a very, very big program for anybody that that applies to, and will be one of the stimulus programs in this package that literally changes people's lives. So there's going to be a lot of different programs here that work for a lot of people. Some programs, it might not affect people at all. It really just depends on these particular type of programs, the paid leave programs. When it, if and when people actually use it, it'll be a godsend for them. If you never use it, well then it might not affect you at all. But they're putting a lot of different programs in the stimulus package to really help out a lot of people when and if they use them. Okay, increases to Pell Grants for low income college students. The Pell Grant program is the primary college financial aid program for students in need, helping more than 6.7 million of them last year. The proposal would increase the current maximum of $6,495 in assistance a year by $500. Unspecified climate change funding, including tax credits for green technology. They're really negotiating on climate change pretty hard right now. Elder care provisions, including increasing home health care funding and reducing health care premiums. The plan originally called for a $400 billion investment in expanding home and community based services, but is expected to be scaled back here. So, elder care or senior care, uh, I think it's around $200 billion right now. We'll have to see what kind of comes in here for senior care. There might be money if you can apply for senior care money in here. Once they pass it, there might be money you can apply for there. So I will have to let you guys know what comes in here. After they pass this package, there really might be all sorts of different types stimulus programs in here that you could apply for, you could get money from: rent assistance, mortgage assistance, elder care, money for seniors. Who knows? We had that internet assistance that's $50 off per internet, your home internet, your cell phone bill from the third stimulus check package. Who knows what type of nooks and crannies are going to be buried in these programs that are $200 billion and stuff. So once they pass this program, we'll have to see what's in there. And sometimes it really takes us even days or weeks to kind of figure out what's in there and what becomes available. A boost to the Affordable Care Act subsidies for those using federal system to buy insurance, making it more affordable. So if you buy insurance through the Affordable Care Act marketplace, you could get a reduction of what you pay for that, or even get it for free. So keep that in mind. A public option for individuals who can't get Medicaid in their state. There's several Republican states that won't fund Medicaid, and they're trying to get that funded for by the stimulus package. Would make it easier for more than 2 million poor people in states that rejected expanding Medicaid, and to get the ACA to get coverage as well. What's probably out is the free community college. We already talked about that. Expanding Medicare coverage that would include dental, vision, and hearing benefits. I don't really think that that is out. We talked about that as well. This article thinks that it's out because Joe Manchin says he's not going to vote for it, but Bernie Sanders is demanding it's going to be in. It's really kind of in the middle right now. Bernie Sanders is demanding it's in. Joe Manchin says he's not going to vote for it. I think it's really it could go either way at this point. Bernie Sanders is demanding it's going to be in. it's really a 50-50 at this point what's going to happen here. Bernie Sanders has really been kind of the guy that has stood up and demanded and made sure that things are going to be in this stimulus package. It kind of been the for the people person. He's the guy that made sure the stimulus check for the second stimulus check package made sure that was in there and kind of got the way there. So I wouldn't put anything past Bernie Sanders. If there's a will, there's a way. Bernie's kind of the guy that can, if it could happen, I wouldn't put it past Bernie. He kind of is kind of the guy that if it's even possible, he can make it happen. But Joe Manchin, you know how he is, so we'll have to see here. The Clean Energy Performance Program, which would pay energy utility companies to switch from fossil fuels to renewable or clean energy sources. This measure is opposed by Joe Manchin. He says, why pay these energy companies when they're already doing this they're already doing this anyways. I kind of agree with Joe Manchin there, so it's not a big deal. And the tax rate hike on corporations and top income earners, which is opposed by Kirsten Sinema. I don't think this is a big deal because they might do this in the next stimulus package and they can kind of pay for this package without these tax hikes anyways. So I don't think the Democrats are really pushing for it that hard because they've already confirmed there will be another stimulus package after this, and they're saving some of the tax hikes for the next stimulus package. And who knows what will be in the next stimulus package. Because they're going to need to save some tax hikes there to pay for the next stimulus package. So, as I said, there's a lot in this package, and there really could be a lot more. They always seem to add in things at the very last moment. There's going to be another stimulus package after this. And I will keep you up to date here. There's a lot of things unfolding. Things are changing at the last minute. There's a lot of groups looking to add things in here at the very last moment. I will keep you up to date here. They're looking to close out and finalize this here this week. So make sure to subscribe down below. I will keep you up to date here with everything going on here on this channel. Remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here to watch my newest stimulus check program next. And this video is how there's 20 different states that are also issuing stimulus checks or stimulus programs on the state level. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.